We'll meet quorum before we do session. If we don't meet quorum, it will be left with you, the Liberian people, through the media, to know who coming to watch, who ain't coming to watch, and why we did not watch. We got to discipline ourselves with time. The honeymoon period, the period for propping is done. It's time for us to work. I think we have set the stage. It is time to move.
Yeah, Senator, you say the honeymoon period is over. What do you mean honeymoon period?
Yeah, plenty. You know, when a new government takes over, and you should watch the American system. They will confirm people, and just to get the executive and the government running. So most of the people, if not all, there were some people that the Senate did not agree with. What we did not do, maybe that some of you did not know, we did not pass all nominees. There were some people who the Senate did not agree with. We liaised through our committee on the executive to liaise with the executive marshal to withdraw those people, or to just remove them from the nomination list. Those who we put on the floor, we gave the president free hand to run his government in the first year, to settle. Because if it's too technical and all that stuff, the government would not even run. Because imagine February 11, 2024, when the AFL wives took to the streets, the country, February, the country did not have a justice minister. The country practically did not have a defense minister. The security was in uncertainty. So I just gave you this instance where after election, there's honeymoon period where you gave the executive especially what the executive wants in terms of the personnel that the executive wants to work with, unless there's something very significant and consequential with a nominee that person should not be passed. But anything other on the ordinary, you give the president what the president, because you don't want the president, his administration to start struggling and failing. Then he say, oh, I wanted these people, I brought these people, and you rejected them. We get the president almost everything he wanted in 2024. It's time for us to give the Liberian people and the country.
Senator, I have just two questions. So the first question is that, you have come across as that critical voice from the previous administration. Liberians, prior to this administration, knew Senator Dillon to be that person, if not the lume in the room, who will raise issues about things when they're not going right. Now you're talking about a honeymoon period, one year, the first year of this administration. Did the honeymoon period align with the interest of the Liberian people? Do you regret anything about the honeymoon period?
Okay, so you're looking for something now to turn the whole thing around. But honestly, when we say honeymoon, it means you allow some things to happen that would not have ordinarily slapped. You think beginning, the end of this month going forward, we sit down here and the president still having people acting in tenure positions in violation of the tenure law? No, it should not be. It will not happen. It should not happen. You understand? The central bank, people who presiding over our money, you know, the monetary policy of the country. It's a national security issue. Somebody who presiding over our monetary policy cannot in a row for over a year or more than a year. This January should end all of those kind of periods. So there are things we allow to slap because we wanted the government to sit. Now that the government, in our view, is sitting, no excuse.
Now, and then the final concern.
No excuse.
So the final concern is, before now we saw you were very strong on the issue of the legislature, going back on the salary issue. You were pushing for your fellow lawmakers to wear 5,000.
Yes.
What are we going to see? Are we going to see the reintroduction of that bill? Do you think it's
no? But the thing, no, Nelson. Let me disappoint on this salary issue. I know that the talking point will be for the year, and I want it. I'm dropping that bill. Liberians want that bill. They just let the top of it. You in the media, you don't want that bill. You were right here when I reintroduced that bill in October last year. My colleagues were laughing at me on the floor. They said that bill that I want to see here, boy. Some people said I was talking about the camera. Any of you carried the people who were making negative comment when I reintroduced that bill for us to make $5,000 here, reduce our salary. Some of my colleagues were making negative comments against that bill. None of you reported it. But if somebody had introduced that bill and I made negative comment against that bill, it was going to be the talking point. So I'm not only disappointed now in my colleagues, I'm disappointed in the media, I'm disappointed in the civil society. How many groupings, how many Liberians have come with placard or say we agree with Senator Dillon bill? Every time we put a bill on the floor, our colleagues laugh and the media laugh with them and nobody says it. But if those negative comments against reducing our salary here, if they were coming from Dillon, it would have been the headline news. So if the country wants it, the country will come for it. The bill here. So you stop asking me for the one bill when you're not pushing it. One time you're not open your talk show to say, Liberians, you don't get involved. They don't put a bill on the floor. But every day, why your bill? Why the bill here? So you're not promoting it, you're not supporting it.
So follow up on the question asked by my colleague Nelson.
Yeah.
Are you saying when a bill is passed or pushed by you, Senator Dillon, if the media do not help in lifting such bill, you're going to abandon it?
No. I put a bill on the floor for us to look at the statute of limitation. I'm not waiting for you. You know what it means? It takes character, courage, and how you call it, understanding of your own situation as a leader to reduce your salary. I can't reduce my own salary. I'm not president. The president of Liberia announced 40% reduction in his salary. You know that how much? You in the media, you know that how much? And you carry all the president reduce his salary, president reduce his salary, how much? In order for us to reduce our salary here, it must be by law, Article 36. In other countries, when people put people-oriented bills on the floor, it is the people that draft it and cause pressure to come on the lawmakers. How many of you, all of you in the media, and all of us together, how many persons now ask the lawmaker from the county, say, why you get Johnson to deal on that bill? I'm proposing 5,000. If somebody else can say 2,000, I will agree. If somebody else can say you made 3,000, you're not passed law to make 3,000, I will agree. I am proposing 5,000 and below. Why the country can't jump, but every day they ask me, Senator Dillon, what your bill? My bill right here. All of you were here in October last year under this rescue government when I reintroduced that bill. Last October. Yeah. And you're here? Yes, sure. And your husband, the comments from my colleagues here? You heard any media people beating my colleagues for making negative comments against that bill that Liberians said they want?
So there was this story that when one of your colleagues had followed when you said like camera talk, that story was reported. But in news writing, there's communal prominence.
The person who said it.
No, I'm not saying that, but it was scary.
Okay.
Was scary.
No, the way.
But that should,
the way. No, listen. When people want something, I can know. Don't care water. Care plenty of time. Just when I sleep, you can get plenty of time for different angles. You know what it means? The Constitution in Article 36. It says that our salary, our benefit, monthly, should be fixed by law. Nobody's supposed to be guessing how much we're making here. Everybody's supposed to know how much we're making here. If we're making 10,000 and everybody put it, make it law. Put it in the law right there. Pass it. If we agree with the 5,000 which I'm pushing, let's write it. Let's pass it. If somebody else can say Senator Dillon say he said 5. In the interest of the country, I'm proposing 3. I'm ready today. But let's pass it. Then let's pass the president's salary into law. Because of what Article 62 of the Constitution says. Then Article 72 of the Constitution says we must fix and determine the salary, benefits, and allowances of people in the judiciary. You see the kind of power we have? We have that power. We now use exercising it on the executive and the judiciary because we want to exercise it on ourselves first. Then who they dealing with your bill? Dealing with your bill. Let me make some people feel bad, but I'm speaking from a positive perspective, but it sounds negative. If I don't have support for that bill, you stop asking me about it. Simple. I didn't do a job we had time. They say, oh, he was against job we had. He was doing it for campaign. My own rescue government last October, I reintroduced the bill on this floor. How many times you are not talking about it? How many lawmakers you are not invite to your various institutions? And one of the questions to ask is, Senator Dillon got a bill on the floor for you to reduce your monthly salary to 5,000 or below.
What's the current salary? What's the current monthly salary? The
current salary net is 7,900. How many times I say, when I became senator, and you're not helping us, when I'm coming, Jackson, I told you, I said, this year, we inside. When me we inside, honeymoon business finish. And I'm not coming to prove that tough, and I will not be unrealistic and unnecessary. But the real things will have to be done here. When I became senator, I said to the country that if it is true that lawmakers are making 15,000 every month in monthly allowance and salary, I would take 5,000 and get a balance to Montserrat County. When I became senator, the first pay I took care was on harmonization. The Liberian government had taken decisions to reduce lawmaker salary from 15 in gross to 10 in gross. When you deduct taxes, it comes to 7,900. It is from that 7,900 I said I will add 1,000 to make it 3,000 to give it back to Montserrat. It is from that money that the Matadi Mosque, the Central Matadi Mosque, 4 bathrooms was built. Those who are Muslims and know they will know the religious importance or for bathroom attached to mosque. But it is that sanitary stuff we did over there that is providing public sanitation to Central Matadi area. Go to PHP community here in district number 7. Yeah, district number 7. Down South Beach. The sanitary place there. The people now toileting on the beach any longer. We renovated that place and put in commodes and turned it over to the leadership of that community. 8-room toilet facility. People not defecating on the beach any longer at the PHP community. Go to district number 17, Corner Yard. It was the former representative Hassan Kazulu who found our spot. We built a hand pump that we push on that money, and in district number 17, I don't live there. We renovated the public school in Todi. We did a poly tank to provide public water, to provide safe drinking water to the people up Ashmore Street. And different interventions until September 2021, when we opened the rehab center and we made the statement that the 3,000 that we're giving back every month to Montserrat County from our salary will be utilized to rehabilitate people. How many of you say that on your radio every day? The people are you, what Dillon doing your salary? You don't say anything because it look like. It's okay not to clarify. Fact checking by media too is also important. You know? So yes, that bill, I wanted to pass. If our president, the House President Boaka, can just announce reduction in his salary, if our having administrative, executive authority here, we'll be making 5,000 or less. But in order for all of us to make 5,000, if everybody here does not agree, majority agrees, we'll make the 5,000.
Let's look at the place of the number. What are you doing with your colleagues back scene, behind the scene, to ensure that this bill is
we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot, because except that
carry all the news. If your colleague and you are not in accordance, perhaps it will not work.
Except that some people give different reasons for shying away from that bill. And the only way you will know their reason unless you ask them individually. You honor obligation to ask too. If the media and the country has interest in that bill, the media and the country must take interest in that bill. Then maybe it will be a topical discussion in the country. It could be. So it should not be only about lawmakers who will use my bill now to put salary and benefit business on the table. How much is the APRC managing director making? MPA, other institutions, LTA, this place, that place. Can we make a holistic discussion out of this thing and save the country some money and make public service a place for service to country and not place for anticipation for pocket?
Distinguished colleagues, the Senator have already appearance with the team of President.
Senator, my name is Anthony from the Analyst newspaper. You agree that honeymoon will allow some things to go on.
Yes.
On that note, grade the legislature, by extension the government, in the first year. One. The next thing is you talk about other colleagues giving different excuses for not accepting.
I said different reasons.
Different reasons.
Yeah.
For not
So if you ask them individually,
reduction, you care to tell us some of the colleagues who have given you different
just all my colleagues, you in the media, each senator you see, each representative you see, maybe somebody will tell you Dillon bluffing, don't mind, he's just doing nothing there for Mura. Don't mind, he fake. Let everybody fake, let agree for that bill, reduce our salary. We'll see what of the money generated from reducing our salary is fake. Oh, don't mind Dillon playing politics, yeah, join me, let's play the politics, let's reduce our salary and see what happens. You understand? You want me to grade this legislature? Let me tell you something. The Senate, we did a website. The Senate is paying their employees regularly. The Senate has concluded and is paying the Senate, the staff insurance. The Senate got 2 buses for the staff. They reformed it. We have audited this place with this system audit of this place. And everything that the GSC recommended and advised, we're putting them in place so that the Senate can begin to be audited, financial, forensic, comprehensive audit, so that the people who have interest in knowing what we're doing here with their money, nobody can audit my salary. But the people have right to audit when we say we take money from finance ministry to buy sheep. Your salary is not audited, but the other money, expenditure of government money, for car, for this, for that. And thanks to the leadership of Yobi Kanga Lawrence as pro-tem of the Senate, I will put these measures in place, and trust me, I grade the Senate, in my view, from a reform perspective, I grade the Senate about 80%. On the overall governance of the country in 2024, I'm not too pleased. The glass is half full. It's not completely empty.
Senator Dillon, my name is Strogon Osborne. You, before this administration, from January even up to December, you usually say that you have the key to the door, you have access to the presidency, and in fact, at one point you said that, you couldn't get angry with when the people of Liberia who elected the president, they are not angry. Are the people angry now?
No,
or then B to the question, don't you have the key to the door anymore?
That key is still new. That key is still new and usable. But don't forget that I'm a senator. I had that key when I stood here in this plenary, in the Senate, and said, we disallow and disagree with President Bouaka to nominate anybody else to any position in violation of any law. I had that key. You know why I did that? Because I'm a senator. And I'm a senator who believes that doing my work to help the president and the government to be on the right footing is the best thing. There are times there are some administrative errors that don't belong on the Senate floor, that don't come on the Senate floor. There's where you use a key and go in there and correct it. And when I'm using that key to go in there to help correct some things, probably 2024 probably would have been worse off than what people perceive it to be. So when I say honeymoon period is over, 2025 going forward, it's going to be the Dillon people top is silent, why you would think I would just put government in power and the next day I will prove that I'm Mr. Something and start bashing at my own government in 1 day, in 2 days. Knowing that we got to set up the government got to sit down. The government got to, get set up and moving. January, February, March, April, May before we got a budget, national budget in 2024. A lot of things needed to, a lot of parts were moving that needed to come together. Now, we have given sufficient time. As far as the Liberian people know, 2024 was a year of grace. 2025 is not a year of grace, it's a year of expectation. Even if the expectation will be slow and steady, but it's a year of expectation. It's not a year of grace any longer.
My name is Lego Peterson. Following you, and they applaud you for being focused, particularly when it comes to the issue that has to do with governance, rule of law, accountability, and transparency, and your fight against corruption. Recently, President Bouaka was in Lofa County during the holiday. He made a statement that has some debates, particularly where he stated people who are corrupt, they should be able to take the money and use the money for the betterment of their people. The executive provided clarification saying the president spoke in context. The widespread debate was that what is the difference between the president's statement and that of Senator Maggie, who openly endorses corruption? Did you hear it, and what do you have to say to it as somebody who is very passionate about fighting?
It came out differently. I wouldn't have said it that way. I would conclude that the president misspoke on the way he intended for his message to come out. I'm not going to defend it. The Joseph Bouaka, we all know, will not take microphone to encourage people to be corrupt because you will use the corruption money to bless people. Bouaka intended to say, it is my view. The Bouaka I know. He meant to say, corruption is not good. Those of you who eat corruption, that money is to be used for the people of the country. In simple terms. But the way it came as somebody who's encouraging. I wouldn't agree with that. I think the president misspoke, but the president did not intend so. We should punish bad behavior. We should punish people who hurt this country. The president should summon some courage this 2025 to keep the ball rolling, beginning with LTA and other places. And we will be here to remind him, as much as we close to President Bouaka, we have a function to, we have a duty and responsibility to our people as well.
Thank you, gentlemen.